All right, Bill Staxx, this is for you.
You got a couple days to take down the fake you've been saying.
And if you don't,
we're gonna sue your
and that's a fact.
So take that down and start spreading false information.
God bless, mother.
God bless, mother.
I boo-hooed. I said, oh, the club put me in there. No. I put myself in there. I did what I had to do as a Hell's Angel.
You know, my daddy always, if you got in a fight and you came home with a bloody nose, did you hit him back? If you didn't hit him back, Dad put you in the car and took you back over there until you're going up in that yard and get your shit done and be a man.
They got their walls drove through by gangs, by the FBI gang, and all that shit happened to that chapter, right? Like those guys go through their being a big motorcycle club. It's even sometimes just being a small motorcycle club. You go through your.
A lot of people that have come in have seen definitely a change in the club and the direction that the club is going.
I looked out my window and you could see a body laying out in front. And here's this dude running around up there with no, just had his sweatshirt on. And he tells me he's a Hell's Angel. Even after all that, I still wanted to join the Hell's Angels.
People out there, man, that are just natural followers. And they just fall right in line with that type of program. But not 1%ers, man. 1%ers don't ask permission.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx. And today, we're going to talk about what's going on down in Fayetteville and all the prior occurrences that have happened down there that people aren't aware of. This case goes a lot deeper than you might think. And these individuals that were sentenced recently, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things that are going on. We're going to Australia today, I think Texas, and a bunch of other places. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you could get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother's sister's friend about Chattin with Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. I appreciate all you guys taking the time to watch this show. If you want to donate to the show, you can hit up the Cash App at Chattin with Staxx, or you can hit a Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good stuff. Every dollar goes right back into the show so I can bring you guys the dopest content possible. Shout out to everybody up there in Laconia. I wish I could have went, but I had prior engagements. But I will be at a couple events later on in the year. And shout out to Gary Michaels, had a show this weekend. He's got an incredible show. If you guys haven't seen our interview, go check it out. Part 3 is dropping tonight. And then we got a whole new batch of people that I interviewed. We got a ton of things to talk about today. Let me give a couple shout outs and then we'll get right down to business. Floyd, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today. Jason, how are you? Good afternoon. Tommy, what's good? So Loud is in the building. We're in your neck of the woods today. So Loud. We're going to be talking about where you live at over North Carolina. Kurt, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today. Shout out to all the subscribers. I really appreciate all you guys. Let's get down to business. There's so much going on. First, we're going to start off with the Comancheros out of, I believe it's Australia, the west coast of Australia. Lethal Les, his name is Lethal Les Graham. He is attempting to walk away from the motorcycle club world, right? He was a Comancheros boss, and he recently sat down and did an interview. Let's check this out.
The teeth. You intimidate people when you first meet. The tats, the teeth. You intimidate people when you first meet them.
Yeah, I suppose I do in some way, yeah. Well, I've been told I do.
Lethal Les, a former sergeant-at-arms and enforcer, was attacked last night, a reprisal for wanting out.
You were with the Commos for more than a decade, very suddenly excommunicated.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'll choose not to tell anyone or divulge in any club stuff, and I think I've said that to you before, Ben.
Do you know who did it?
I live by.
So he said he's not going to talk any club business. I try not to get involved with all the club business. There's a lot of things I could talk about that I choose not to, because it's not not my business, you know. It's not my business to put motorcycle clubs business on Front Street. There's other people out there that do that type of shit, but that's not what I do, you know. There's a lot of things I can put out there, but I choose not to because I'd rather not get involved with their business. I don't need to be involved with all that stuff. That's their business, you know.
The code and the loyalty code, and it's bit me in the ass a million times, but in saying that I live by it and I'll stick by it and I'll cop it on the chin. But that's as much as I want to get into it when it comes to club details, mate.
I'm done.
Now, this is the same guy that was the guy that's interviewing him, is the same guy that's asking him questions outside the courtroom, and it looks like he wants to attack him, right? Watch.
Lethal Les, a former sergeant at arms and enforcer,
He gets pissed. Watch.
was attacked last night, a reprisal for wanting out.
You were with the commos for...
This is the guy outside the courtroom that was asking him the questions where he was getting pissed, and he starts like almost going after him. This guy always is going after all the club members out there in Australia. He calls them names and things. It's crazy the lengths that this guy goes.
more than a decade, very suddenly excommunicated.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'll choose not to tell anyone or divulge in any club stuff, and I think I've said that to you before, Ben.
Do you know who did it?
I live by the code and the loyalty code, and it's bit me in the ass a million times, but in saying that I live by it and I'll stick by it and I'll cop it on the chin. But that's as much as I want to get into it when it comes to club details, mate.
I'm done.
What would happen if you weren't living by the code and you did start talking?
I can't even give that answer because it doesn't even come in my vocabulary. My code's one code and one code only.
So people would say, then why are you on an interview, doing an interview? Well, if he's not putting out club business, like when I interview people, I don't need the club's business, you know. I'm asking people about their story, how they even got involved with motorcycles, period, how they got introduced to the club, things like that. I don't need to know like personal details about. Some people tell me different things, but I don't need to know people's names and different things. I just want to hear your experience on how you got involved with motorcycles, what it was like to get your patch, things like that, rides that you've been on, different things you experienced on the road. I don't need to know who did what on this day and all. Like, I don't need to know all that. Other people choose to put that type of information out there. So anyway, there was a ride for women, I guess, right? So it says, update, we now have a record 1,433 women bikers that left Hard Rock headed north on South Belmont loop around 75. I don't know exactly where that is. They went back to Hard Rock. They beat the record of 431 bikers. PSA, it says avoid I-90 for a bit. And there's a couple thousand motorcycles driven by women to break the record on the ramps, or they're blocked off. Traffic in both lanes are stopped. South Belmont on to Riverside. Let me see where that is exactly. So they tried to like break a record, right? With how many women like riding in a big ass group, and they got 1,400. It's in Illinois. So 1,400, that's a lot. Their previous record is 400 and 431. So now this year they did it and they got 1,433 women. Here's a video of the situation. Let's check it out. That's a lot of bikes. Those are all women. Those are all women. Both directions. Look at that. Look how big that line is. That's a lot of women riding bikes. That's quite a bit. What do you guys think of that? So they were trying to break a record, and apparently they did it by like triple the digits. Insane. Look at that. That's a lot. That's a lot of bikes. Both directions. I mean, it's bigger than some clubs out there, right? Women are taking over the MC world. How many people think that? I know a lot. There's a lot of people out there that think women don't belong in the, the motorcycle club type of world. I mean, there's a lot of women that are in clubs. I mean, that's not for me to say, There's a lot of women that are in clubs. I'm not really sure about 1% clubs. I've heard that there are women 1% clubs. I haven't really looked into that type of stuff. But what do you guys think about that? Scrap Iron, what's going on? Insane Wheels, what's good, man? Thank you for joining me. Appreciate you, Mike. No one talks, everybody walks. No face, no case. Exactly, media you prefer to hear and watch. Fuck the haters, bruh. Yeah, I ain't got time for nobody, man. The only competition I have is right here. You know what I'm saying? We don't do all that. World Cup, let's go Germany. What? You're on the lam? Kurt? Likely going back inside tomorrow? Damn, bro. Johnny Weedseed is in the building. What's going on, bro? Hey, shout out, good morning from the City of Angels. Man, hopefully they could get it right out there. That's crazy. We got some information about what's going on in LA. That's crazy. So apparently there was a serious fire at Spencer Pratt's office in LA, and it's a suspicious fire. You believe that shit? And that's right after he just made a video saying that he was going to release a video or audio of one of these candidates doing something so heinous that they would have to resign their position. So suspicious fire at Spencer Pratt's Pacific Palisades business sparks arson investigation. I mean, these people, these liberals are going to the extreme to try to protect their assets, whatever they got going on. The lies are so crazy over there. It's insane. Everybody on the internet seems to think that election was rigged. I mean, it's painfully obvious that it was rigged, right? So a fire tore through the Pacific Palisades office of entrepreneur, Los Angeles mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt has ignited more than flames. It has raised questions that investigators are now working to answer. The blaze erupted Thursday afternoon at a commercial property on the Palisades Drive that houses Pratt's crystal business. So he has like a crystal healing type business, right? Promoting a swift response with multiple units from Los Angeles Fire Department. I was surprised they even came, right? Considering their great track record of putting out fires. While firefighters successfully contained the fire, no injuries were reported. Circumstances surrounding the incident have drawn the attention of the department's arson unit. Pratt, speaking shortly after the fire, said he believes the incident was anything but accidental. I want to be careful not to compromise an ongoing investigation, Pratt said, but this incident looks very suspicious. The office is located within the Highlands Circle complex, a property previously housed popular Costa Nostra restaurant. Remarkably, the building survived a devastating Palisades fire earlier this year. was reportedly undergoing reservations when Thursday's fire broke out. I mean, it could be because of the renovations, right? It could be like a wire spark, but I mean, come on. The timing of this, and it says right here, the timing of the fire has fueled speculation from Pratt, who recently found himself at the center of a heated political debate and public controversy following the release of post-election video. While stopping short of making direct accusations, Pratt suggests the possibility of retaliation linked to his political activism and criticism of the city's leadership. There are many people in the city who will stop at nothing to silence those who expose corruption, Pratt said. Obviously, they will make laws to try to stop people from exposing corruption. Look at the Nick Shirley Act. Like, what kind of shit is that? Can they even do that? And I got some other news about what's going on up in Dearborn, Michigan. A bunch of people up there are under arrest, including one whole office of people working in the government for corruption with the election up there. It's crazy. Mike Ball needs to get in on this shit, right? The incident would not surprise me if they were connected to my efforts to challenge the political establishment and advocate for change. The comments come amid heightened tensions in Los Angeles politics, where the public disclosure has grown increasingly polarized in recent weeks, despite the suspicions. Pratt emphasized the investigators should be allowed to complete their work before conclusions are drawn. Authorities have not yet determined the official cause of the fire, and no arrests or persons of interest have been announced. For now, the focus remains on the ongoing investigation as fire officials sift through the evidence to determine what sparked the blaze and whether it has the result of an accident or something more deliberate. As investigators continue their work, one thing is certain: the fire that could have been written off as a routine incident has instead become the center of an ongoing mystery in one of Los Angeles' most closely watched communities. I mean, the corruption there is insane. I can't believe that they're able to get away with shit that they get away with. It really is sickening. So I got another crazy story to tell you guys about. Let's see here. So a man robbed of $10,000 at a vehicle sale meetup. This guy went to go sell his car, or he went to go buy a car, right? And they robbed him of his money. This happened in New Haven in Grand Avenue and Hamilton Street. This happened June 13, 2026. A man told police he brought $10,000 cash to purchase a vehicle after communicating with individuals through social media. The victim reported he was robbed at gunpoint by 4 suspects. Police were advised that the suspects stole the victim's watch, wallet, cell phone, and approximately $10,000 in gas. The victim told officers his girlfriend had photographs and names and associates with social media accounts used to arrange the meeting. People are so dumb these days. You might get away with it in the beginning, but eventually your ass is getting caught. Why would you do that? And they probably use their own social medias or somebody they know, right? The victim initially reported a stolen phone and was pinging a few blocks away before the location signal was lost. Police were advised the suspects fled in an older model black Lexus. The vehicle has last been seen traveling on Hamilton Street towards Ives Street. The investigation remains active. So I'll let you guys know when they catch these guys, because they're most likely going to catch them, right? People are so dumb. People's brains these days, they just don't have, like, critical thinking. Is it really critical thinking not to rob somebody using social media? Like, come on, they don't know that you got there's like a footprint when you use social media. So this corruption shit is getting out of control. So we heard about the 6 officers that were injured at a prison in Connecticut. Well, it turns out an inmate has died now. What do you think that is? You know what it is? Retaliation. And I feel like, this is my personal opinion, I think the guards killed this guy. Inmate dies at Corcoran Correctional Center in Uncasville. And this is right after they had those officers were assaulted. Remember that? 6 officers were assaulted. But now we have an inmate that has died. A 60-year-old inmate has died Wednesday at the Corcoran Correctional Center. I was there on a stayover, right? So I was getting transferred from one prison to another, and they brung me to that prison, and they just had me in a cell for like 24 hours. It was fucked up. And then they brung me to another one. So Thomas Harrison was found unresponsive in a cell around 1 p.m. when staff were making rounds. The Department of Corrections said no one else was in the cell except the guards, right? Staff began CPR, continued life-saving efforts until an ambulance arrived. Harrison was taken to the hospital where he died at 1:48 p.m. Harrison had been in the Department of Corrections since June 1st. Wow. State Police and Office of Inspector General are investigating. Of course, the medical examiner's office will determine the cause of death. But I don't know. It's a little suspicious, seeming that they just had 6 guards assaulted. Now you have inmates dying at that prison. Something ain't adding up. The math ain't mathing. So today, if you guys don't know, is Donald Trump's birthday. Happy birthday to Donald Trump. And to all those people out there that hate him. Come on, man. Wish the president a happy birthday. Today is Donald Trump's birthday. Scrap iron. Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate everything you do for this channel. Johnny Weedseed is in the building. Yeah, Tommy, New Scum. Just put a law into effect that will make it harder to prosecute people for election fraud. Like, I mean, what the type of shit does that make? I think it's because they hold this power and they don't want to let it go, right? That's what it is. They got this power. I think the same thing happens in Connecticut. Same thing happens in Connecticut, in California. They hold on, they get this power and they don't want to let it go. They're like, we can't let it go. So we're just gonna figure a way to keep us in power, right? So that's what they do. Look at Ned Lamont. He's not a good person. This dude is as corrupt as it comes. But they keep getting elected because they have control of the machine, right? So there's nothing you can do about it, really. Hey, the Jimster, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining me today. He's not getting his money back either. So much technology out there. Some people don't have much common sense these days. 100%. Yeah, he's not getting that money back for the stolen car. Hey, we could agree to disagree, Johnny Weedseed. I mean, I don't like everything about Trump. I think he's doing a lot of great things for the country, but I don't agree with everything he does. I do agree with them getting the people, ICE removing people from this country that don't belong here, because when they hurt your family, you'll probably think the same way. I mean, these people don't belong in our country, bottom line. And I don't care what president gets them out of here. Every president did it, right? Somehow it's a major problem because Trump did it. I couldn't stand Trump when he first got elected. I'm like, damn, this dude's a fucking reality star. What the hell does he know about anything? But I think he's the best option for our country. Kamala Harris, the chick would have destroyed our country. People need to be proud of this country, you know? But I don't agree with everything he does. Absolutely not. Dykes on bikes are bad. Floyd. I mean, there's a lot of women out there that ride motorcycles, right? A lot. A lot of people say, so the UFC just had a fight, right? Right on the White House lawn, and people are like, I can't believe Trump's doing this. Well, what about when Biden had drag queens out there? Because it happened. Go look it up. What about that? Was people up in arms about that? I mean, it's crazy, man. I agree. I like things Trump's doing, but something we gotta question is these libtards have no business in the House or any government position. They definitely don't. And people that weren't born in this country should not hold elected positions. I don't give a fuck. They should not be holding elected positions. There's no way. If you weren't born in this country, you should not be able to have a position in office. Any position in office, because these people were not born here. They don't care about this country. They want to control things. They want to seize power, and that's the only way to do it, right? And it seems like a lot of them are being elected into office with no pushback. It's insane, the stuff that's going on. Things need to change. Something needs to happen. Since when do we not use the Bible to swear people in? One nation under God. What are they going to say? One nation under Allah. They're going to change that too. Apparently in Canada, you can't preach the gospel anymore in public. They banned it. You believe that? They didn't ban preaching the Quran and all that. They just banned preaching the Bible in public in Canada. Go look it up. Insane. Like the stuff they're getting away with is insane. I don't get it. I don't get it. If anyone gets it, let me know. But anyway, we got some sad news. A lot of fatal motorcycle crashes, and be very careful if you're riding a bike out there. You have a passenger. Motorcycle rider in Butler killed in Bates County crash. 28-year-old Butler man was killed in a traffic crash on Friday, June 12, 2026 at the intersection of Highway 52, the Interstate 49 in Bates County, according to Missouri Highway Patrol. The crash occurred approximately 11 a.m. while a 2009 Harley-Davidson Dyna motorcycle was traveling westbound on Highway 52. The patrol reported motorcycle struck a unit being towed by a 2008 Ford E350 as the Ford was making a left turn. So obviously it turned in front of the motorcycle rider, right? I mean, why you would do that is just beyond me. So that I was just talking about this the other day. Be careful for people taking left-hand turns in front of you, because that's the most dangerous thing ever. They will cut you off. They don't care. Try to look for an escape route, somewhere you can go, because usually you can't go into the other lane, and on the right is either off the road or there's a guardrail or you can't jump the curb, things like that. So you got to be very aware. If you feel like there's a car that might take a left turn in front of you, just slow down. I mean, just slow down. The motorcycle rider's 28-year-old man from Butler was not wearing a helmet, according to the patrol report. He was pronounced dead at 11:13 at the scene by the Bates County paramedics. The driver of the 2008 Ford E350 is a 65-year-old man from Polo, Missouri. He was wearing a seatbelt and was not reported injured. The Ford sustained minor damage and was driven from the scene. The Harley-Davidson sustained total damage and was towed by RB Tow. Highway patrols reported the next of kin has been notified. The crash was identified by Troop A as the 26th fatal crash and the 29th traffic fatality for the troop during 2026. I mean, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people, right? I mean, when you add up all the people throughout a year that pass away in motorcycle crashes, it is astronomical number. A 44-year-old woman was injured after falling off a motorcycle in Fond du Lac County. This is out of Wisconsin. A woman was reportedly in recovery after a serious crash in Fond du Lac County Friday afternoon, June 12th. Fond du Lac County Sheriff states that they received a call about a motorcycle crash on Highway T near County Highway W in the town of Forest. The caller said the passenger fell from the motorcycle. When first responders arrived at the scene, they found an uninjured 54-year-old man and a 44-year-old woman with serious injuries. The woman was flown to a nearby hospital for treatment. Neither were wearing a helmet. Deputies ruled out speed and alcohol as the crash. The incident is under investigation. Hey, it could have been, what do you guys think? Could have been trying to pull a wheelie with her on the back, something crazy, right? Allegedly. I don't know exactly what caused this crash, but I mean, anything could have caused it, right? So, let me see. Make sure I got all these crashes out the way. I know there's a lot more, and we'll talk about some more tomorrow. This is out of South Carolina. South Carolina Highway Patrol investigating a fatal motorcycle collision in Orangeburg County. Let's see. I got a video for you guys for this one. I gotta wait for the ads and then I'll bring it to you guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I appreciate all you guys taking the time to watch this show. I really do. Lisa, how are you? Did you see that bus that they fucking set on fire in New York City? After the Knicks won? They set a school bus on fire. I mean, the bus driver's like, yo, you guys are messing up my paycheck, man. He's like trying to stop them from destroying this bus, a brand new school bus. And these dudes were ripping it apart with their bare hands, smashing it with stop signs, kicking the grill out. They were trying to rip pieces of the engine out. They ended up setting fire to the bus. And this is like in downtown Manhattan. That is Mandami's New York City, okay? That is going to be the norm in New York. It's insane that people are getting away with shit like that. It's crazy. And who will be held responsible? Nobody, right? They're all on video doing it. It's crazy. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Now, the South Carolina Highway Patrol is also investigating a deadly motorcycle crash in Orangeburg County. Troopers say the crash happened just after 5:30 this evening at the intersection of Bonner Avenue and Minerva Drive. Investigators say a Harley-Davidson motorcycle was traveling west on Bonner Avenue when it ran off the side of the road, and the rider, who was the only person on the motorcycle, was taken to MUSC in Orangeburg, where they later died from their injuries. The Orangeburg County Coroner's Office has not yet released the victim's identity.
Granger. It's crazy. A lot of people are passing away in motorcycle crashes. It's insane, astronomical amount. New text, new law, believe hate speech, CT should make new law. They should. They really should, man. So loud, trying guide, not set up for that curves and speed. I mean, can you imagine falling off a fucking motorcycle at a high rate of speed? I mean, all right, we got another one. All right, serious motorcycle crash under investigation in Thompson, Connecticut. State police are investigating a motorcycle crash in Thompson on Saturday afternoon. The crash happened about 3:26 on Riverside Drive. The road has since been reopened, according to Connecticut Department of Transportation. Police said Lifestar was called for the serious injuries. There's no word on how many people were hurt. No further details have been released. And there's a lot of motorcycle events and things going on, so just be careful. Be aware of your surroundings. Some people don't care, They will pull in front of people in a heartbeat, and they just don't care. All right, so hey, So Loud, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. $9.99. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you, guys. Every dollar goes right back into the show, and I can't thank you enough. Damn, how many we still have the rest of the year, right? I mean, listen, I could sit here and read off hundreds of motorcycle crashes every single day. And this is every day this happens, every day, especially when it's nicer out, a lot of crashes. I read about at least 5 a day, and there's way more than that happen, and fatal ones. So just be very aware of your surroundings. Middle class at work. I was in the middle of the road, sidewalk, holding up traffic. Did you see that they had are you Italian? Yes, I am. Hell yeah, I've always loved the Knicks. When I was young in school, I used to have a Knicks jacket. My mother used to call it the Kicks. I used to love the Knicks. I still do. So I told you guys about the big situation that happened yesterday, right? Where the Hells Angels, there was a crackdown on the Hells Angels over in Australia. Guns, drugs, and over 150,000 in cash among items seized in police gang crackdown. Coordinated crackdown, outlaw motorcycle gang has resulted in 5 arrests, seizure of military-style firearms, drugs, and cash. Trans-Tasman operation named Task Force Morpheus involved police across the country targeting members and associates of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. Police laid 18 charges for firearm offenses as well as Class A and B drug offenses. Detective Inspector Wayne Gray from the National Gang Unit said a raft of other illegal items were seized during the search across Auckland. Police also carried out enforcement activities in Waikato, Bay of Plenty, and Central and Tasman districts. During the search of the property, officers located 3 AR-15 military semi-automatic rifles alongside firearm parts and ammunition. These illegal and violent activities that outlaw motorcycle gangs choose to involve themselves in have plenty impact across the communities, Gray said. We welcome every opportunity to work with law enforcement agencies across borders in this unified effort, continuing to put pressure on these gangs. Other searches uncovered various of illegal items and cash at a gang pad In Chattin, police seized about 400 bottles of alcohol and spirits of alleged breach of sale and supply of alcohol act. They ain't fucking around. Like, they're trying to get every charge possible. They're charging them with alcohol offenses. They found quantities of methamphetamine, MDMA, and GBL, whatever the hell that is, was also recovered. Across the operation, police located more than $150,000 in cash and about $93,000 in jewelry. 2 vehicles, a Mercedes-Benz and a Ford Ranger, were impounded in Mount Eden. And now these operations happened in a bunch of different countries at the same time. Germany, I think New Zealand, and Australia. 3 Patch gang members and associates now face criminal prosecution and 18 charges laid of unlawful possession of a firearm, possession of supply of methamphetamine, possession or supply of fantasy. What the hell? What kind of charge is that? Possession for supply of fantasy. Are they serious? I think they meant to say ecstasy. Grapevine police remained committed to keep the community safe and preventing harm and intimidation caused by gangs. Police will continue to target and disrupt selective illegal activities with gangs are involved themselves in, which resulted in serious charges being laid in this case in the latest phase, he said. So I guess this is a huge case that has been going down. And they want to put pressure on alleged gangs, they say. So let's get to the topic at hand. Well, first, before we get to that, you guys seen this beef with mafia rat John Elite? Now, people keep calling him mob boss. Yo, the Gambino mob boss. This dude was not a mob boss. He was not in. He's not even Italian. He's Albanian. He wasn't a mafia hitman. Listen, this guy was not all them things. He was just not. I don't know why these people, but he's going after Fat Joe, calling him all types of names. There's videos out there, and now you got Dick Lips getting involved, right? You got fucking Gene Borello, the Dick Lip fucking asshole, involved with all this. People are calling him the serious mafia hitman, Gene Dick Lips Borello. Like, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. Gene Borello was not in the mafia. He was not. Like, no, Grow, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. Colin, what's good? Yeah, but this dude was not a Gambino. He was not. Like, he wasn't. He didn't work for John Gotti. He was friends with John Gotti Jr. That's it. Like, he had sleepovers with him. Like, there's pictures of them having sleepovers. It's insane. Like, so these people are gone, so they can't defend themselves, right? So these people come out and act like, oh, I was a boss in the Gambinos. I worked as a hitman. And I showed you guys the irregularities in his story that he's told in the past. Go look at the videos where he said that he met John Gotti Sr. and he told him to go kill somebody for him. And he was the boss, but he wasn't the boss at a certain point. I showed you exactly that these guys are liars. They're not telling the truth. So you're telling me the first time you meet somebody, they're going to tell you will you kill somebody for me? He doesn't even know you. Doesn't even know you. And he said he met him when he was the boss of the Gambino family. John Gotti wasn't the boss until 1985. You used to sleep over the kid's house before that, right? So these guys lie like crazy. It's insane. Go watch the videos I did on them. And it's quite hilarious. These people can't get out of their own way. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying Fat Joe isn't a liar, because he is too. Both of them. But you got a rat calling this dude a rat. Like, it's just hilarious. You can't make this shit up. You can't. But anyway. And he's saying some wild shit in this video. He's calling him an N-word and all kinds of things. Just crazy. All right, so we got a crazy situation to talk about, right? Let's see here. So there's been a crazy rivalry with the Hells Angels and the Pagans down in the Carolinas for a while now. So there was a situation that happened back in 2020, and then there was another one a couple years after that, and now we have this situation. So, and these guys were involved with all of them. Well, at least one of them was, right? This guy. So this guy was involved with another situation that happened when one of these guys was killed. One of the Hells Angels was killed, right? I got pictures from the scene. So, let's see if I can find this picture. So this is the man that was killed, right? He was a member of the Hells Angels. So they went to confront pagan members at a bar, I believe it was, right? So listen to this. Now, these are older articles, so try to follow the timeline, right? A deadly night at Big League. Parking lot brawl ends in homicide. Shocking Lafayette community. What began as a night socializing and entertainment in one of Lafayette's popular nightlife destinations ended in tragedy when a violent confrontation erupted outside Big League Sports Bar, leaving one man dead and several others injured. The deadly incident unfolded during early morning hours at Lafayette Crossing location at 140 Frontage Road, transforming a busy entertainment district into an active homicide scene. And I'm going to show you some pictures from that night. So here are some pictures from that night. You can see in the background, right? You can see the prospect. I believe right there on the right, you see the prospect. There's other motorcycle club members, and there's prospects and a bunch of other people standing around. So apparently, when emergency responders and police officers arrived, they encountered a chaotic and disturbing scene. Multiple individuals involved in a physical altercation, with several suffering injuries severe enough to require immediate medical treatment. Among those injured was a man who sustained fatal injuries during a fight. Despite emergency efforts, he was later pronounced dead, prompting authorities to launch a homicide investigation. Violent brawl erupts outside popular venue. Witnesses described a rapidly escalating confrontation that spilled into a parking lot in the area outside the Big League Sports Bar. Investigators spent hours securing the scene, interviewing witnesses, reviewing surveillance footage, because everything's on camera nowadays. They collected physical evidence in an effort to determine exactly what led to the deadly encounter. Yellow tape at the scene surrounded portions of the property as detectives worked through the night and into the following day. Numerous law enforcement vehicles remained on site until forensic teams documented evidence. Authorities have not yet publicly disclosed all the circumstances that led to the fight, but officials confirmed that multiple individuals were involved and several participants were transported to local hospitals for treatment. The community was left searching for answers. The homicide sent shockwaves through Lafayette and surrounding communities, particularly among patrons familiar with the busy commercial area. Residents expressed concern that a night that could end in such violent fashion. While investigators urged someone with information to come forward, business in the area found themselves at the center of a tense public attention as the news of the death spread through the region. For many residents, the tragedy serves as a reminder of how quickly disputes can escalate into deadly violence. So apparently what happened was there were some pagans at the bar, right? And the Hells Angels encountered them. They had an altercation, and allegedly, I don't know if this is 100%, but allegedly, one of the pagans killed one of the Hells Angels. And they ended up charging the Hells Angels with their homicide, right? And then the charges later get dropped, and we're going to talk about that. The homicide investigation, a large fight, often presents significant challenges for law enforcement. Detectives must sift through conflicting witness statements, review surveillance footage recordings, analyze forensic evidence, determine the actions of each individual involved. Investigators spent considerable time identifying participants, piecing together timelines of the events leading up to the fatal confrontation. Police officials emphasize that determining criminal responsibility requires thorough review of all available evidence rather than relying solely on initial witness accounts. This is an ongoing investigation. As detectives continued their investigation, authorities encourage anyone to come forward with videotape, contact law enforcement. The case remains a stark example of how quickly violence can erupt in public spaces, devastating consequences that can follow. For the family of for the victim's family, the investigation represents an effort to uncover the truth behind the night that ended an unimaginable loss. As Lafayette police continue their work, community members await the answers, but sparked a deadly altercation, and whether those responsible will ultimately face justice. So, people end up getting arrested, right? For that situation. All right. Blood on the pavement. Charges dropped against one man in deadly biker brawl that leaves questions unanswered. A violent confrontation outside popular sports bar has taken another dramatic turn. For prosecutors dismissed charges against two men initially accused in a deadly fight that claimed the life of a motorcycle club member. The late night melee unfolded outside the Big League Sports Bar in Lafayette, left 39-year-old Nicholas Lawson dead, and sparked a criminal investigation into what authorities described as a clash between rival motorcycle club members. Now, as the legal proceedings continue, questions remain about exactly what happened during the chaotic confrontation and who bears responsibility for the fatal outcome. The night that turned deadly. According to court documents, the violence erupted shortly before midnight on Saturday when tensions between members of opposing motorcycle clubs spilled into the parking lot of a popular gathering spot. Investigators allege that Jason Lee Hathaway, now that's this guy. This is one of the guys that just was sentenced recently, right? He was involved with this situation. He initiated a confrontation would eventually escalate into a deadly fight. Witness statements, evidence collected by law enforcement reportedly indicated Hathaway approached members of another group, setting off a chain of events that quickly spiraled out of control. What began as a verbal dispute allegedly escalated into a physical altercation, involving multiple individuals. During the fight, Jason Lawson suffered fatal injuries. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but despite their efforts to save him, Lawson was pronounced dead at the scene. The shocking death sent shockwaves through the local motorcycle community and prompted a major investigation by Lafayette police and prosecutors. Charges filed, then partially dismissed. In the days following the incident, prosecutors charged Jason Lee Hathaway and Brandon Johnson, 25, Anderson from Indiana, in the connection with the fatal altercation. Authorities initially believed both men played a significant role in the confrontation. However, after reviewing witness interviews, surveillance footage, forensic evidence, other investigative materials, prosecutors determined there was insufficient evidence to continue pursuing charges against Johnson. The dismissal marked a significant shift in the case that underscored challenges investigators often face when attempted to reconstruct fast-moving group confrontations involving numerous participants and conflicting witnesses' accounts. While Johnson is no longer facing prosecution in connection with the fight, Hathaway remains at the center of an ongoing criminal case. A familiar name in the motorcycle club investigation. The case has drawn additional attention because Hathaway's name has surfaced in previous law enforcement investigation involving motorcycle club related violence. And this ain't the last time. There's another time after this. Authorities have not suggested that the Lafayette incident was part of a larger criminal conspiracy, but investigators have explained possible connections between club affiliations and circumstances leading up to the fight. Law enforcement officials have long warned that despite between rivalries of clubs can escalate rapidly, particularly when longstanding grudges, personal conflicts intersect. The community seeks answers for friends and family of Nicholas Lawson. The legal developments offer little comfort as they continue to grapple with the loss of their loved one. Those who knew Lawson described him as a loyal friend, a passionate motorcycle enthusiast whose deaths left a void in their lives, many of who rode alongside him. As court proceedings move forward, investigators continue to piece together the final moments before the deadly altercation erupted. The dismissal of the charges against one of the defendants has only intensified public's interest in the case, and many are wondering whether additional evidence could emerge and what ultimate outcome awaits for the remaining prosecution. The investigation continues. Prosecutors have emphasized that the dismissal of charges against Brandon Johnson does not signify the end of the investigation. Authorities continue to review evidence, pursue all avenues and leads surrounding circumstances that led to Lawson's death. For now, the spotlight remains firmly on Jason Lee Hathaway, who allegedly started the confrontation and proved pivotal in the case advances through court system. What began as a night outside a neighborhood sports bar evolved into a homicide case that continues to raise difficult questions about accountability, violence, and the devastating consequences that conflict that escalates beyond control. So now there is this new case, right, that they were just sentenced on. The two men that were sentenced. So this all happened, this new case happened at a Dairy Queen, apparently, right? So, let's see who else we got in the house. Tommy, what's up? Smash that like button. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, it is. Like, I mean, this keeps happening, right? This happened at the Dairy Queen. So Hathaway is the guy on the right. Hey, Chief, what's up, man? Thank you for joining me. I was told a very powerful in Canada. Gwendon, I was told is very powerful in Canada. I doubt he would be doing what he's doing if he was in the USA, though. I mean, he's in the USA, not him physically, but their club is. I don't think Canada could ever compete with the USA in that gang stuff. Listen, I'm from the US, so I mean, my money's on the US, but shout out to all the people from Canada. I got love for all of them. I appreciate every single person. Lafayette is the worst city in our state. Speaking number 1 on crime. It's not a great place to live. A bunch of damn meth heads, aleheads, heroin addicts, and dangerous place. I hear it is. I really do. Definitely is, bro. All right, so this recent situation, right? People throwing away their lives, don't do it over what? Like, there's no winner in a situation like this. I mean, people end up in prison, your family's left without you, right? And the other people either hurt or they're killed. They lose a loved one. So everybody loses in the end. Yeah, I mean, the greatest thing would be just to coexist. Just let people do their own thing. Like, but I guess some people can't do that. So, hammer attack at Dairy Queen. 2 Hells Angel members sentenced in violent biker war attempted murder case. Long running and often deadly rivalries between 2 North America's most notorious outlaw motorcycle clubs has once again landed in federal court, as 2 members of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club have been sentenced for their roles in a violent attempted murder attack targeting members of the Pagan's Motorcycle Club. Federal authorities announced David Lee Woodall, 47, of Fayetteville, North Carolina, and Jason Lee Hathaway. So David Lee Woodall is the guy on the left. Jason Lee Hathaway is the guy on the right. Same guy. The same guy on the right is from them other cases that I talked about. He's from Columbia City, Indiana. Received prison sentences this week after previously pleading guilty to violent crime and aid of racketeering and attempted murder. My question is, isn't there a law or isn't there a rule in this motorcycle club and the Hells Angels that they are not to accept a plea because you're admitting guilt in a federal racketeering case? You're admitting that you were a part of a federal racketeering case. So isn't that a rule that they can't accept a plea deal in cases like this? Because you're admitting guilt, right? So wouldn't they be booted out of the club for this type of stuff? I'm just a question. I don't know if it's true or not. But that's what I hear. That you can't testify in court, you can't accept plea bargains because it would mean that you're admitting to guilt. So on June 10th, Jason Hathaway was sentenced to 51 months in federal prison, while David Woodall received 57 months sentence on June 12th, 2 days later. According to court records, the attack stemmed from an ongoing conflict between the Hells Angels and the Pagan's Motorcycle Club, 2 organizations that have been locked in a territorial disputes for decades across the United States. Prosecutors described the Hells Angels as a transnational outlaw motorcycle organization that allegedly relies on violence, intimidation, and threats to maintain its influence and enforce club rules. Court filings also reference to the Red Devils Motorcycle Club, identified as a support club affiliated with the Hells Angels that serves as a recruiting pathway for prospective members. Federal investigators allege the members of the Hells Angels operated in a standing directive to confront and attack rival Pagan Motorcycle Club members whenever opportunities arose. The daylight confrontation that turned violent. The incident that led to the conviction unfolded July 22nd, 2023 at a Dairy Queen in Cumberland County, North Carolina. And you know there were kids there. There had to be kids there, right? It's the middle of the day. It's a hot day, and there's probably families and kids there. Not the place for this type of stuff. Authorities say Hathaway rode into the restaurant parking lot on his motorcycle during the busy daytime hours and encountered 3 members of the Pagan's Motorcycle Club armed with a hammer. Hathaway allegedly confronted the rivals and threatened them. During the altercation, Hathaway swung the hammer towards one of the Pagan members, but missed. The intended target instead. The weapon smashed through the vehicle's window, sending glass flying in the parking lot. A lot of parking lot occupied by customers and families. Rather than ending there, prosecutors said Hathaway immediately called his fellow Hells Angel members for backup. Among those responding was Woodall. That's the guy on the right, on the left. The parking lot became a battleground. Once additional Hells Angels members arrived, the confrontation escalated dramatically. Court records indicated the group approached the same 3 Pagan Motorcycle Club members and launched a coordinated attack using hammers, brass knuckles, and their fists. Witnesses described a chaotic scene as rival bikers fought in full view of civilians enjoying the summer's afternoon at a popular fast food restaurant. Vehicles belonging to uninvolved citizens were damaged during the melee, highlighting the dangers posed to innocent bystanders caught in the middle of the violence. The assault only came to an abrupt end when one of the Pagan Motorcycle Club members reportedly fired a gun at the attacking group. The gunfire struck and killed a Hells Angels member, instantly transforming what had begun as an organized assault into a fatal confrontation. Authorities have repeatedly pointed to the incident as an example of how bikers' rivalries can erupt without warning in public spaces, placing ordinary citizens in direct harm's way. The federal crackdown on outlaw motorcycle club violence. The case was prosecuted as part of a broader federal effort targeting organized criminal activity connected to outlaw motorcycle clubs. By securing guilty pleas under the federal violence, crime, aid, and racketeering statute, prosecutors sought to demonstrate that violent acts committed on behalf of criminal organizations will carry serious consequences. Assistant Attorney General of the Justice Department Criminal Division, U.S. Attorney Ellis Boyd of the Eastern District of North Carolina announced a sentence emphasizing the government's commitment to pursuing individuals involved in organized violence. The conviction marked another chapter in the decades-long conflict between Hells Angels and Pagans, a rivalry that has fueled numerous investigations, arrests, shootings, and violent confrontations across the country. While the prison sentence brings this particular case to a close, law enforcement officials continue to monitor tensions between outlaw motorcycle clubs, warning that long-standing feuds remain significant public safety concern. So what do you guys think of this situation? I think it's senseless. All of it is senseless. Just people need to just let people do their own thing, you know? It's just crazy. They need to just let people do their own thing. Yes, man. Yeah, I just showed a video about that. Did you see the video? Yeah, 1,400 in a single pack. Yeah, I just showed a video. I'll show it again. Yes, the previous record was 400 and something, and now they have 1,433. Here's the pack. These are all females, right? And here's the other side of the highway. Look at this shit. It's a lot of women, man. That is a lot of women. Yeah, I talked about this a little while ago. You got to rewind it to see all that. But what do you guys think of the situation? Hey, Joey, what's up, man? How are you? Joey C14, thank you for joining me today. Sober up, get rest, make better decisions, 100%. How is it racketeering? It's because more than one person is involved with a coordinated effort to do something. That makes it racketeering charge. that other trial is going to be happening soon with the outlaws for the attack on that black guy, right? That happened in that bar. Shout out to both clubs. Hopefully they can avoid all this conflict and just coexist, right? They don't need to be friends, but maybe they can just coexist and go about their own business, because nobody wins. Hey, Staxx, do you ever get any blowback from talking about certain clubs? No, not really. It's all public information. I don't put club business out there. This is all public information, you know? I mean, some of them might not like it. Some people don't like that I even talk about it, but I mean, it's all public information. I'm not trying to get into their club business. It's not my place to get involved in all that. Trust me, I do a lot of interviews that I don't put out. There's a lot of information that I can put out, pictures, bunch of situations, some crazy stuff, and I would probably get a lot of views on it, but it's just not my place to do that. Because I got respect for all these clubs. My goal is to show you guys that these guys are just normal people. I talk to people from all the big clubs. They're just normal people. They got jobs. They got families. They're just normal people. They're not like these big scary guys like people want you to think. Like the media wants you to think. They're not gang members. They didn't sign up to be in these clubs to be in a criminal organization. They're just normal people. They just want to be left alone, a lot of them. Yeah, it's the world record, right? With those women. I mean, their previous world record was only 400 women on bikes. And now they have 1,433. That's crazy. That's like 3 times the amount more. Hey, Will, what's up, man? Thank you for joining me. And I don't care how much stuff like this happens around the country. There's still not a gang. Maybe some people get involved with some things, but it doesn't make them a gang. There's a total different setting for a gang, you know? Gangs, they put their money and it goes up to the president. These are motorcycle clubs. Some people get involved with bullshit, but that's on separate occasions, right? They don't sign up to say, hey, I want to be involved with criminal activity. I'm going to join this club. They don't do that. Independent presidential candidate running for presidential, running in 2028. Hey, do your thing, man. Are you really? Hey, do your thing. You never know, right? You could get enough votes to win. They're talking about having Gavin Newsom and what's that dude's name? The fucking Hunter Biden. That's like, what? Nah, neither one of them people. Or Kamala Harris. That lady should never, ever be in office. Ever. I don't know how she made it to be the vice president. You never hear about the Iron Order in the news? Yeah, you do, man. The Vagos were just in the news. 2 Vagos were just arrested in Louisiana. What are you talking about? You must not watch the news very much, man. Who needs to go to the bathroom, man? Oh, yeah. Come on, get to the front of the bus.
Put him in the bathroom, Mike. Bobby, put him in the bedroom. Put him in the bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Later. Get the f*** out of here. How you doing now, buddy? Thanks, man. I appreciate all you guys. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you could get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother's sister's friend about Chattin with Staxx. The dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. I appreciate all you guys. Have a great day. Stay safe. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen